Hi, Scrappy Kathy here. I actually had started this video and was 3 minutes into it and got a reminder, an alarm, which superseded what I was doing and stopped the video. So what you missed in that is something I can't do again. I'll first show you the layout that I'm lifting. This is Laura Rumble's interpretation of the Saturday sketch, and I'm sorry, I really don't know who did the sketch, but it was published in last week's Saturday sketch at For the Love of Pretty Paper. And I love these three little photos, and there are no embellishments here other than some word strips and the patterns on the paper, so I just thought that was beautiful. What I've done is I cut 3-inch strips, 3 by 12-inch strips off of 6 different sheets of Pinkfresh Studios paper from a variety of different collections within Pinkfresh. And I cut one 3 by 3 square. I used a punch to cut another, a slightly smaller square in the same pattern, and then I turn the paper over and cut another one. This will become the large one of that duo, and then this smaller square. So out of each 3 by 12-inch strip, I've got 4 squares of differing sizes. So I'm going to first kind of lay out the little title square area over on the side so I get a little bit better placement. I want to make sure I have room. There, Laura's title square is a little bit larger than I'd like mine to be. So I'm going to see, it still goes at that same angle, so I can kind of do this. Okay, so I'll kind of leave those there for now, and that'll give me some perspective as I lay out the rest. I'm not using 3 2x2 pictures that are exactly alike. I'm using 3 2x3 pictures of my son's 3 children, my grandkids, who live upstairs from us. And it's not them that live upstairs, it's us that live downstairs. They keep us in the basement here. So knowing that these are a little bit larger, these were taken on Christmas morning, knowing that these are a little bit larger photos, I decided I didn't need as many squares as there are in Laura's. And so I'm hoping, and because the papers, the reason I chose Pinkfresh is that they have, all their lines are really white based. So I wanted that white base, which is inspired by Laura's, with with lots of different colors in the patterns. And because the photos all have that black background, I used the stage lighting in portrait mode to take those photos on my iPhone. So, all that having been said, I'm going to start kind of organizing squares now and seeing where I'm going to organize the kids' photos in the order in which they were born. So Katie will be first, Barrett will be second. I'm thinking I need one way up here. Let me turn the diamonds a different orientation from the way I have them down at the bottom. Let's see, we'll go here, maybe there. I like this. This is awesome. I may kind of sneak that in later. here. Got that. Here's a different kind of blue. I'm dry fitting these, and I actually will go back and glue down after the video is finished. I've never done that before, but I did notice on the video I made earlier this morning that I did need to go back in and re-glue some things. So, and it would have helped if I'd left some of that to I need to kind of hide the fact that that one's cut a little crooked. So let's see, this one can go right here, and I can put this in here. The small one can kind of overlap there. I think I won't use This Is Awesome. I've got another place I could use that. Now this is, as you see, I'm kind of having to push it away to over to get the diagonal orientation. Let me put this here. Okay, you kind of get the idea here, what I'm trying to do, but it isn't, I probably won't decide on the final placement until after I have the photos in. And I know that someone who lifted this, went by the Saturday sketch, kind of said that she had trouble putting things wonky. And I kind of see what she means here. I need this one further out. They need to kind of begin to go in. Okay, having done that, I'm going to see if that is a good placement for Katie. Maybe up here, and I can put a word strip there for journaling. Barrett is next, and he really likes pink, so I don't think it's going to bother him that he's near a pink piece of paper. And Ava's down here. So I tell you what's happening here is with the photos being placed where they are, as you can see here, that's kind of giving me that diagonal wonkiness that I want. The next thing I'm going to do is look for, I have Pinkfresh embellishments. One thing that's great about Pinkfresh is that embellishments from one collection generally go with others. I've got Off the Beaten Path for Katie, and the next big thing. Katie is fiercely independent and very, what do I want to say? The opposite of preppy. Kind of, she knows her own style and follows her own drummer. Barrett is a sports star, so he is the next big thing, so I would select that for him. And for Ava, I really like, she's a formerly very, very sweet, bashful kind of little girl, and she's turning into a fairly opinionated and very independent girl at 10, and she doesn't mind taking anyone on in an argument. So I think I'll use this round leatherette sticker that says "not easy but worth it." So I'm going to, without speaking, kind of begin putting these things together and tacking them down, and then I'll come back and we'll add these things and any other things we'd like to see. Get my adhesive and kind of begin, make sure that I'm within your view. Let me get the whole page up there so that you can see it. This, I said I wasn't going to talk, but as it turns out, that's more challenging for me than scrapbooking is. For the Love of Pretty Paper has a stash busting pattern paper busting theme going on this month. So we're keeping track of pattern papers that we're using, that we cut into and use either part of or all of. So here, as I said, I started with six pattern papers. Let me put that one down, kind of try to get this one down. The only thing I'm making sure of here is that, and I'm not really paying too much attention to it, is getting the patterns kind of distributed, and it's more important for them to be attractively distributed than evenly distributed, so I'm paying more attention to adjacent colors than I am to whether there's a pink stripe too close to the other pink stripe. I'm going to take the photos, because what I discovered, which we discovered together with the photos, once you put the photos on, the diagonal gets defined more easily. It's not so much in the pattern paper. Here I said I wasn't paying attention to something that I just now paid attention to. Let me get a small one of these and kind of come down. I'm trying to do that at a diagonal. And as you can see, the way that I'm putting them back on is nowhere near what I had when I laid them out. I kind of wanted to see how many, if I had enough. Let me put it that way. Kind of go down here. My step over to the right, the definition of the diagonal is going to be, still have it a little close to this cluster down here. So I am not going to like that as well as if it were not that way. So let me see what I can do. Actually, I'm probably not going to change anything at this point. Just kind of, there we go, that works. Okay, there, as long as it's stepped in from there, let me put this, okay, that, probably over here. I'm doing more with my left hand than I usually do, so I've got my camera maybe in the wrong place, over my left side. Okay, let me hold out the rest of this until I place the photos. I think we're gonna do Katie here, maybe overlapping there, kind of down front. I don't want it perfectly aligned. There are enough layers. Normally I would use some foam under the photos, but they kind of stand out on their own, and there are enough layers below them that if I used foam, the layers would, what am I trying to say? The pattern of the layers may end up, here we go. I'm trying to cover this white spot. When I put it together the first time, I did not have any, let me do this. Anyway, let me go back to the foam. If I used foam, the unevenness of the layers would be exaggerated somewhat. And that might make the photos look a little bit wonky. And I think I didn't want them to look that way. I'm going to turn this, you don't have to be perfect to be awesome, though I love that sentiment. I'm going to turn that over and put this square, kind of insert it in here. I'm trying to get rid of that, and I'm trying to do it so that it looks like the paper was placed as part of the overall scheme, which of course, as you know, it was not. Okay, so I have this left. I'm actually going to overlay that black and white because that's the least interesting looking pattern. I think I needed it to balance off all of the colors. Okay, so let's take a look. It does have a diagonal look, and we'll worry about the title thing later. So let me, without further ado, let me get the off the beaten path and put that kind of overlapping Katie's photo. Okay, so that's done there. We'll go to the next big thing, and that's going to overlap Barrett's photo. I'm going to tack it down up here. And then we'll go back and do the not easy but worth it. And then I'm probably going to add some embellishments in. This is perfect. It overlaps the photo and I like cutting the corners off things. So this took there were some abutting corners there. Okay, so I like this word today, and I thought I might want to add it right up there on top of Katie. I want to use something different near each photo, to something a little different from the from what I had there, from the strip. And I've got a leaf here that I don't like that because I don't have there's nothing that particularly explains why I would have anything botanical there. So let me pull this loose ephemera out. I think I'll leave the stickers. Got sun-kissed. Let me bring them in here. I've got flowers. That's kind of a nice layering. You feel like sunshine. Here's rich in love. Would that be good there or here? Not this feeling that needs to be present and in awe. Let your heart sing. That's kind of a nice sentiment to maybe bridge. Katie and Barrett's pictures. I'll tell you what I'm liking. Dream in Color. That would be a good one for Barrett because he loves color and he's a very good athlete. And one of the things as hard as he works to practice and be the best at whatever sport he's playing, that's exactly how hard he works on matching his colors to. I'm actually going to put this one on some foam tape. And in this case, I think the foam tape is probably going to obscure the fact that there are uneven layers underneath it. So I'm going to do this there. I like this Feel the Love for Ava. I'm going to push this up. I think I'll use it here. Probably want to have it there. Ava is 10 going on 25, and she's an open and very intelligent and articulate critic of the American educational system. She's just recently gotten an award for a paper that she wrote about that. Little details. Not sure I want to go with anything else round. I do like this stamp. Let me see if I can maybe put that over here. It's not long enough to completely obscure that, so I'm going to do this. Now that's where the title is going to go. My title is going to be The Kids Are All Right. And so I think I'll stop this embellishing. I'll shove all of this over to the side, and I'll go now into my store of tiny alphas. What's bothering me a little is there's a section here that has nothing, and I may take one of these stickers and top story, that kind of anchors these two things. It makes it a cluster of three things, and that feels better to me. Okay, so pushing those off. Now, I need tweezers to pull these out, and this doesn't have. Let me see what I can do here. I need to pull a different group out. I have here a box that contains my tiny alphas. Now there's an alpha that matches the pink color here, so I may use that instead of these. These are wonderful, and I use them a lot. I think that the earlier letters are used up, or they're so few and far between. But they're kind of see-through, and they don't work well over multiple layers, so they show. So let's see what we can do. I'm gonna say, let's see. I guess I need the latter part of the alphabet. Sorry about this. Okay, T. I'm going to, what I'm doing here is I want to leave this live more there, and I'm going to try to work the title in letters that are different enough that that live more doesn't interfere with it. If it does, I'll just cover it up. So we'll see how that works out. And I like, let me kind of tilt this one a little bit. Actually, I think I'll let it be that wonky instead of, I'll let it be, the heights be wonky instead of also the angles. So, I'll do this. That one came up without the sticky. I'll save it and I'll add my own sticky. But for right now, I'm just going to go for one. These are basic gray, so by definition, they're not new. And the so the adhesive may not be everything it's supposed to be. If I can, I'm going to take this stamp up and put it somewhere else. Right there. It was the Live More wasn't interfering with my title, but I think the stamp was. I want the title actually to be seen. The kids, and then I was going to do these gray tiny letters, and so I'll let that bridge these. Do you see how it's what I used the stamp for was to cover this confluence of edges or corners. So I'll do this to cover that. I did check to make sure that I had enough of the letters to spell the words I wanted. I liked that in the original, Laura uses 3 different fonts and 3 different styles of letters for her title. And so that's kind of where the inspiration came here. And I wanted "all right" to be the biggest word in the title, so and I like breaking that line with that A. And these I think I will kind of tilt, and the inference being that they're not perfect, but they're all right. Let's see, I don't have an I, but I have a 1, and they look remarkably similar. Almost finished. And I think I achieved what I set out to achieve. I have it's almost as if this layout is basically for my son. These are his children, and he pretty much lives 24 hours a day for his kids. He's a very devoted, dedicated dad. So I'm kind of, these are some kind of grown-up pictures of them, very recent. They were taken Christmas Day, as I said. And this says, "Live more, the kids are all right." So it's kind of some advice to Dad. So, hope you enjoyed it. I'll publish the finished, I'll take a flat photo in case you would prefer to see it that way rather than waving around in my hands. And I'll get it uploaded, and I'll put links out everywhere. If you like this, please subscribe to my channel and let me know what kind of content you especially like. Right now I'm planning to do these process videos and also layout shares, and I've been asked to do a craft room tour, and I thought I'd do a